everybody, Edo here, and this is 5 Minute Mystery. It is live on Kickstarter now, and the good folks at Wiggle3 sent me along this prototype. If you've seen my 5-minute dungeon review, you know that I thought that game was fantastic. So when they brought up 5 Minute Mystery, I was like, yeah, I'll check it out. And I didn't really know what to expect. I was thinking about something more like 5 Minute Dungeon, but then I opened it and had this contraption in, and I was like, this is going to be a little bit of a journey. I have to give these guys and gals huge props for essentially figuring out how to make a hidden picture game, hidden object game, into a 5-minute experience in board games. This is very well done. It's a bit of an activity once you get into it, but I have to say I'm immensely impressed. Execution is flawless, look is fantastic, the art is outstanding, super easy to recommend for a certain type of gameplay. So, what is the gameplay? How does it work? Really straightforward. So there's this little, what's it going to call it? You know, little dials. There's a better name I'm missing right now. And essentially, what we're going to do is there's going to be a culprit. Culprit is going to be one of these many really fun, or suspect, one of these fun characters. Well, okay, excuse me. The culprit is drawn at random and placed face down. That's who you're trying to find out. And you have the suspects in your hand, one of which is the culprit. So everyone is going to have a set of these cards. You're basically going to distribute it based on the number of players so that you have every suspect given to the players. And essentially, the goal of the game is to figure out which suspect the culprit is, or which culprit the suspect is, or however that goes, okay? So what am I going to do? Well, what you're going to do is you're looking for clues. Clues have to do with the art of the character. And the way it will work is you're going to have piles of different clues, and you are going to go to a room, okay? This is the magic and simplicity of this game. This is a gorgeous piece of art. Within it, there are like small symbols hidden around. They're pretty straightforward. They're not hard to find. Like, you'll find them within 20 seconds, tops, or you're not going to make it in 5 minutes. But essentially what you're going to do is you're describing the symbols to another player. And this is like rotating, where you'd be like, it's the square, the blue square, but with the like squares on the side. We started calling this one the rug. And so then the player on the dial has to set the blue to the rug. And essentially, rapid fire, you're going through it, and eventually the player sets up a full set of symbols. At which point, players will flip over the card and see if they got those symbols correct. That was pretty close. Got those symbols correct. If they did, great, you get to get a clue. If they didn't, you're like, darn, this goes to the bottom of the deck. You reset and start again. 5 minutes, right? So, what does a clue do? Well, this is really neat. On the back of this culprit cards are these little color diagrams. You'll get a clue, and each clue is like a different, like, skin, accessory. Well, they're all accessories except skin type, and then a bunch of accessories. And so, what you'll do is you'll flip your clue over. This culprit have a necklace, and you will see if it lines up. One of these 4 red clues does line up, the other 3 don't. If it does, then everybody with suspects will be like, oh, well, this culprit has a necklace. They will go through and flip over, or however they want to have it. Or our aircraft is going to go by. I live next to a military base, if you didn't know it. Wow. I think a big plane just flew directly over me. I tend to know when things are happening. Anyway, so when you're not having a gigantic plane over you, you look at the cards and say, does this guy have a necklace? No. Well, the culprit, okay, so what did I say? I think I said, let's just say the culprit does have a necklace. Doesn't have a necklace, face down. So then we're going to be reduced. This video is I'm going to keep this video, but look at this. It's like circling my house. Anyway, I'm going to have a culprit card. I'm gonna come back, and I'm back. So, character. Let's say they match up. It means this character's wearing a necklace. So all players look at their suspects and say, these don't have necklaces, these do, and you'll start reducing. You might get something where you're like, the culprit doesn't have a necklace. Well, that means that anyone with a necklace isn't going to be the culprit. So you're like flipping things over, and then you're going and you're getting clues, lining up, seeing if it's going to work. It's 5 minutes, right? That's basically the game. Rotating this around, coming up with different things. Now, What if you memorize a location? Well, what you'll notice is they have multiple copies of the same location with different symbols in it. So you can't really memorize what's going to be there. You just have to look quickly. The reason I call it an activity is because you really can't, at a certain point you just get it. You're getting used to how to describe these things quickly. You're getting used to looking and finding the things in the object. You get used to knowing how to flip over cards. It's not really so much a challenge deduction game. It's a little bit, but really at that speed, it's much more of this fun activity where everyone gets in. But it's great. It's a blast. It's tons of fun. One of my kids was not really interested, and while we started playing, he came over and wanted to play, and then we played and played and played. You get a case card, and these add a little twist to it. First one has 10 minutes, second one gives you some clues to get you into it. Then after that, maybe you have to do 2 suspects or other different combinations, and it just adds to it. 5 Minute Dungeon had a monster campaign with tons of additional stuff. I suspect the same here, so I could imagine more suspects, more icons, sort of wondering if they figure out a way to get new discs in here. But I'm sure they have a plan because there's no reason to suspect this won't be a hit. It's fantastic, but just remember, it is a fast activity. It is not like some deep, interesting puzzling game. It's not an escape room. This game is just about having fun, fast, with really pretty art and an interesting gizmo. And even this is a nice tactical thing. This is great. So, anyway, 5 Minute Mystery. Hey everybody, Edo here, and thanks for watching Gaming with Edo. Reviews over here on this playlist, League and Insider videos over here on this one. Subscribe, share, all that good stuff. But most importantly, play some great games. Thanks.